There is this thing, the topic, to be honest. If we look at it very well, what do you think? That's why I was willing to engage Sims to actually understand it very well, because when we talk about disadvantage, we have so many types of disadvantages. You understand? It may come from the science aspect, it may come from the social aspect, community aspect. You understand? Yeah. So, but to me, the one that I can actually say that this one I fall into this category, it's the one that I would say maybe is the community one, the society. I don't know if you get what I mean.
Yeah, I hear what you mean. I hear what you're saying. What I'm trying to say, Dark Ife, is this, right? The same disadvantage you get from the community, maybe I'm getting from the Christians. Oh, you're not a Christian. Oh, you're never a Christian. Oh, you have no standards. Oh, you are this. Oh, you are that. If I speak and say I believe, I get the same thing. You're illogical. You're this. You're that. You know what I'm saying? So we get the same kind of persecution, and vice versa. If a Christian comes up and speaks, if there's a company of more atheists, they're going to be. They're going to collect their hand on the. They're going to get their ass handed to them on a plate. So it depends what community you're in. Luckily, I have been in a broad-minded place. Actually, when I was in church, I would be hanging out with my Christian friends, but then at work, I'll be hanging out with my secular friends. So, but never the twain shall meet. So when I'm in my Christian friends, we do all the Christianese. And when I'm with my secular friends, we generally talk about football or, what's on TV, that sort of thing. So the communities I can understand, but it's not a disadvantage that is unique to you, because even a Christian, in fact, almost every Christian, born again Christian today, they had to leave their traditional Methodist church or Catholic, and then they got their mom looking at them. What is this born again? You are becoming SEO Yekba. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing. And isolation and discrimination is the same.
Yeah, I think it's the same for everybody. That's true. And again, even many of the things that people say there, the Christians, I don't think I even fall in any of the category. Well, maybe I've not had this kind of conversation with Christians or something, because most times when I don't know something, I don't know what I know.
Yeah, but you go to churches to laugh at them. One day they will come back.
Of course, I like that. No, Bonzo, I have to do that, because when I was small, I hated church. Because I used to see them like mad people. But later I started liking church, and I'm a musician, and I started playing music, and most of us actually started from church, to be honest.
You're lucky you went to evangelical churches. Try going to Methodist as a child. Oh my God. Now today we're going to stand.
I grew up with CSC. They are the same.
Oh God!
I grew up with CSC. They are the same. Until later,
Stella came in, church was dead, boring. Stella's the first thing that made me enjoy church. So Sims,
but my church, the church I used to play.
Once Sims comes out as Stella, he's going to be receiving the cold shoulder from the Christians.
Exactly. And one that I think, and this one actually, to be honest, when we look at it very well, it comes from the religious people themselves trying to make me evil just because I left religion. And I understand, because really, if the majority in Nigeria are atheists, and we have few Christians, maybe the same thing might happen to them. I don't really know. So I get it, and most of it's always coming from religious aspect. This guy, what's his name? Mike asked a question. He said that why is it that when someone leaves Christianity, people start turning against that person, and they start calling this person evil, demon, which actually me to our experience also. So what will you say about that?
Fear, I think, is the main thing. Remember, this is the thing. They are in not every Christian, obviously, but a lot of Christians are in it because of the fear of hell. So when they see you leaving it, they think, oh my God, you have been seduced by the devil. Oh my days, you're going to hell. The world's going to end. Forgetting that God Almighty, whom they believe in, who is loving you more than them, is not going to let you fall. When we sing the song, He will not let me fall. He will not let me fall. Except if you're Dark Ife, He will not. Do you know what I'm saying? And this is why I'm saying that we pay lip service to believe in God, but we bloody don't really believe in God, because when you know if you're going to believe in God is when the chips are down, and then you're exposed for what you really are. I think the people who do that don't trust that God will have your back no matter what, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's the problem.
Yeah, to me, I feel, don't you think maybe it's actually from the teachings? Yeah, whether they're interpreting the Bible the right way or wrongly,
Yes.
not actually here to discuss.
100%.
I taking maybe it's from the teachings, and to them, they feel like the moment you leave, and there's a way they've painted devil, and there's the way they've painted demons, and maybe you living the Christianity, you now fall into that category.
Yeah.
Do you think might be so?
I think it is 100% so, but that's why I say Christians, go and read up church history. When you see what them Catholics were doing back in the Middle Ages, you'll understand it when you see manipulation today. You see, I maintain that religion is a bastardization of the spirituality. I believe that God is all and in all, and we are to worship God in spirit and truth, which what means is directly in your own way, you and God, nobody else. You know what I'm saying? However that may form. So today you may be an atheist, right? Simply because you're deconstructing from the nonsense that we've endured in with the fake churches and all the falseness in it. And you've just thrown the whole thing into the sink and said, well, I'm not doing any of this. God, you don't exist. I'm going off. And then fine. The way God will and you will work it out with each other between you. It's nothing to do with me. The same way I did myself, only I didn't go to the next step that you did. I just said, you know what, they've got this wrong, so why they got this wrong? And I started to research. And then I came to the conclusion that, you know what is God? Who is God? This sort of human God that we've created, this anthropomorphized God that we are all following. And then we start running into trouble when atheists ask us, well, I mean, if God's got arms and legs and a bottom that he's sitting on a chair, so that chair that he's sitting on is outside of God, isn't it? And then just watch him trip over. But when you say, then there must be something greater than God for God to sit in, you know what I'm saying? And I said, this cannot be God. And that's why when I say God is everything, they don't like it.
To be honest, my family members, my siblings, none of them will agree with you with what you just said.
I know. So that's why you atheists need to ask them the hard questions. But when you ask them the hard questions, okay, so if God sits in heaven, that means heaven's greater than God. And if God is omnipresent and omnipotent, then how can that work? So you have to refine your theology. But we won't refine our theology because we don't know how to refine theology. We just spoon feed whatever is dictated to us from the seminaries. The funny thing is the people who go to these ceremonies, they learn all of this stuff. They just don't teach it.
Yeah, I remember another reason. I think I got this one from the host, which actually makes sense, because if you look at it, sometimes they have high hopes of going to heaven and they want to take their family members. They feel like everybody in the family should go. Then all of a sudden, one person in the family is now trying to me, it's still not justified actually, but let me just say, like one of the family, maybe one of the children now says, no, he doesn't want to go with this pattern again. Now he wants to choose another route. Maybe now they get angry because it's like it's how do I put it? It's like backstabbing them. Yeah, exactly. Like you're a rebel. So
you
that
know what?
one.
People who believe in God should look at God in practice. God is not unaliving atheists left, right, and center. You know, He's still blessing them. They're still enjoying the rain, the sunshine, the air that we breathe. So they need to think, well, hang on a minute, God's not doing this. Why should I be consigning them to hell? But you know, the thing you're saying about the host, I think I may be wrong, but you know, the host belief is one that I think most of the Christians on here, if they were to come out, they would say no, it's apostasy or whatever. But they won't say it now because they know they want to fight with the host. But they believe it.
Even to that, I would still even say, it's in a way, it's still one of the disadvantages of believing, because if you believe to the extent that you feel like everybody in the family must go to heaven, and it breaks your heart that one person is saying that no, he doesn't want to go with the religion anymore. I think that's something else. It has so much to do with our mentality, and that may even bring
Yes, and I think that again is fear. You know, come on, if you believe in God, the all-powerful God, sorry, what is somebody's free will with an all-powerful God? Yet you read in the Bible that God hardened Pharaoh's heart. He made Pharaoh do what he wanted him to do. So dark man's unbelief or Dark Ife's unbelief is too much for God to handle. Come on. You know, that's talking from the two sides of your mouth. You either believe God can override people's human will and make them do what he wants, or you don't. You can't have it both ways. So that's why I say that I don't worry.
Okay. Exactly. And again, be sincere, Bonzo. When they say we have nothing to stand on, because sometimes I just think about it like, must we have a scripture, or must we have a holy book that we follow to say that there is God? Why can't we know this God without these books? Honestly, like when they say we have nothing to stand on, are they saying that we have no books?
Fantastic example, right?
Yeah,
Dark Ife, this is the perfect rebuttal to anyone who gives you this. I will defer to our king's country, Great Britain, father of Nigeria, mother of Nigeria, who gave birth to Nigeria by creating us. We have what is called an unwritten constitution versus a written constitution. But we function as a society, rule the world, remember? You know? Rule Britannia, Britannia rules the waves. Britain will never, never be a slave. They conquered the whole world with an unwritten constitution. So atheists have an unwritten constitution because they have righteousness, goodness in their hearts, but they don't follow any scriptures versus those who follow a written constitution called scriptures. As long as you're a good person, that's all that matters. Belief will take care of itself. Be a good person. That is all that matters, you know? Because even when we look at the judgment, it is what you do that you're judged on, not what you believe. There's no, do you believe in Jesus? Yeah, nah. But wait a minute, God, this guy was a rapist, a murderer. He did this. He believes. Yeah, he repented on his deathbed. So into heaven you go. Would I want to be in heaven with that person? I said I would appeal. I would become advocate for the righteous atheist and say, God, you know, come on, you gotta give this guy a chance, because surely
the same rain
must count for something.
The same rain that falls on taste falls on atheists also, and on everybody.
That's correct.
Yeah, I get that.
So that's why I say that we're all, at the end of the day, we're all scratching in the dark, trying to find our way. And those of us that claim to have all the answers, we really don't. But I think, to be fair to a lot of Christians, if you ask them properly, they will, when you press them on it, they will at least admit that. The Muslims, on the other hand, apart from Hashemites, I don't think they will. They will just double down, but in their heart, you know that
they feel mention Hashemite.
I actually like him.
I like him too. But Muslims hate that guy. Thank you. Thank you. The next person should go.
No worries.
TI is in the building. We don't have any other person that wants to engage with Bonzo at the
All right, that's
moment.
good then. I can drop down and enjoy the
Okay.
rest of the show.
All right,
Ansu,
we
you don't want
move
to
on
engage
now.
me? Come on, Ansu, you always do when I'm here. He's running. Nah, it's all good, man.
We are going to invite Pastor P to make an opening statement on the topic. Pastor, your time.
Okay, good day, everybody. It's always good to be here. So, concerning the topic, I think I may not have much authority to talk about it because I'm not an atheist. But one thing I can say is that there is usually the sociological disadvantage, mostly, which the people families will ostracize you and all that. And then there's the debate that okay, if you're also a Christian, it also works. But here's what I think the difference is with the separation. That, for example, when I decided to move into the Pentecostal circle and become a pastor, my family disowned me. I didn't hear for them for 2 years. But here's what I think the difference is. That while my family disowned me, I went into another community and I still felt that same love and that same which I think that with the atheist, there is no regulated structure for that. There's no, it's usually individual. So, individual, though the community is rising, but there's usually no community. I could be wrong, but there's usually no community for that for the atheist because it's usually individual. So most times there's isolation, it's them to themselves and all that. And then also research has shown, I saw research some years back that people who do not believe in God are more prone to have psychological troubles, which also goes back to so it's mostly an issue of psychological disadvantages and sociological disadvantage rather than something else. And then more importantly, there's usually the weight of the thought of the afterlife. There's usually the challenge of a life without meaning, which usually the average person has proven has thinks about meaning. What's the purpose of life? What's the essence of existence? Why am I here? Why am I here? Did God put me here for a reason? No purpose like that. For the person who doesn't believe in God, he lacks that. He lacks that motivation. So it's usually live life the best that I can, live like the way the animals do, and then when I'm done, that's the end of it and all that. And then there's also the fact of how do you cope with losses? How do you cope with losses when